Hey guys, so we're going to do the Vinyl Tag 2021. I have all of these wonderful albums on my carpet, and I've actually written down the questions because I can't remember things. It's 2021 and I'm still forgetting things. How convenient. A discovery in 2020. So I'm scrolling through the TikTok app last year, and I came across this artist called Rex Orange County. And the song is Pluto Projector. Such a beautiful song. And I just had to go and find out this song, so I went onto YouTube. I searched up Pluto Projector by Rex Orange County, and needless to say, I'm in love with the song, and I do want to get his album within my collection. But there's so much stuff that I discovered in 2020. It could end up being a really, really long video. But we're just going to talk about Rex Orange County. I just wanted to highlight him. A quarantine buy. It's safe to say that the vinyl community did quite a bit of quarantine buying in 2020. We sure did. And I got this Harry Styles Watermelon Sugar High vinyl. This is a really cool 7-inch record. Really happy to have that within my collection. An LP you want to find in 2021. There is a lot of albums I want to find within 2021. But I haven't gone to a record store since December of 2019. I know it's been a while. You don't need to tell me it's been a while. But when it's safe to do so, there's a lots and lots of albums I want to add to my collection. Rex Orange County. I want to add some Def Cab for a Cutie. Muse. Two Door Cinema Club, because I've been listening to a lot of Two Door Cinema Club, and I just realized I don't have their stuff within my collection, and a lot of various other artists that I do want to add to my collection in 2021. 2021 is going to be a good year for music. Check back. A box set. So, I don't own a lot of box sets. Box sets are quite expensive. And I don't buy a lot of them. As you can see right there, I have a couple box sets. But I chose the Concert for Bangladesh from George Harrison. Great concert. But there's something cool in this box set that I have to show you. We have the original news clippings from the actual concert itself. Here's the lovely picture of Mr. George Harrison for you. I thought that was really cool, and I do want to frame that. A concept album. Boy, do I have a concept album for you as I'm going through all of these records. So, I chose this album, Tommy the Who. And look, it's deluxe 2-record set. There's a lot of good songs on this album. Overture, Pinball Wizard, Tommy's Holiday, Amazing Journey. You get the idea. This is a great concept album. The movie is great as well. It's one of those movies that you gotta watch once in your life. You don't have to watch it all the time, but you know, do watch it once. A album where an artist, band change directions. I have so many albums in my collection with artists and bands that change directions, and I just couldn't really narrow it down, so we're gonna skip that question. A white label promo. Now, this is the only white label promo that I have actually came across at my local record store. So let me tell you a little story. I am going to Amoeba with my boyfriend and his cousin, and I came across this beauty. This is Jim Croce's You Don't Mess Around with Jim. Now, if you've seen Stranger Things, they do feature this album, but You Don't Mess Around with Jim, Photographs and Memories, Operator, That's Not the Way It Feels, Time in a Bottle is such a beautiful song. Definitely gone way too soon. An album that tells a story. So, we're going to talk about this Fleetwood Mac Rumors album. Great album, Dream, Change, Gold Dust Woman, Dreams, Go Your Own Way. So, when I was about 7 or 8, my dad had this really nice, huge collection of records. Sadly, some of them can't be found, but I did manage to salvage what was left of his record collection for my own collection. But I distinctly remember seeing this album on the bookshelf in our living room, and at the time I didn't think to pick it up for my collection. I should have. Would have been great to have a copy for my dad, but I was at Goodwill. I love Goodwill, by the way. And I was at a Goodwill in Torrance, and I saw this in the stack of records. And I had to do a double take because, you know, Goodwill, you don't really find that much good shit at Goodwill. So to find Fleetwood Mac at a Goodwill, I consider that divine intervention. An album that needs a vinyl pressing. Howie Day, if you happen to somehow come across this video on YouTube and you're just bored one day and you're deciding to watch vinyl videos, please, please, I need this album on vinyl. This is Howie Day's Stop All the World Now. Everybody knows the song Collide. Everybody knows that song. I would love for this to be on vinyl format. A common and an uncommon album. So for a common album, I went with the album that everybody and their grandma probably has. And that is Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd. Money. Do 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 do. That was my attempt at singing it. But yeah, Dark Side of the Moon. An uncommon album. So for this one, I went through my entire collection. And I was thinking, what's a very uncommon album? And it just hit me. I have this album that I got from seeing Dan Kroll in concert. He came to the Terror Ground Ballroom one year in 2017, I believe. I believe it was September 23rd of 2017. And he had this band open up for him called The Dig. This is their album. This is The Dig. Bloodshot Tokyo. Met the band after the show. Had them sign this album for me. I told them they reminded me of the 80s and new wave. But yeah, I don't think they have this online. I just got this at the concert. And I think that's a pretty uncommon thing, getting albums at concerts that you normally can't get anywhere else. An EP. So for this one, I went with this Procol Harum album. I got this from Record Store Day. Conquistador. Great live song. And Dwayne actually got me into the symphony orchestra version that they do for his orchestra where he lives. And yeah, this is really nice. It's a really cool, let me show you the actual vinyl. Cool green color. That's super cool. A girl group. Had to go with the Go-Go's. The Go-Go's are such a fun group. Our Lips Are Sealed. Automatic. You Can't Walk When You're in Sleep. But yeah, such a fun, infectious pop album. We Got the Beat. A lot of people know that song. We got the beat. We got the... Yeah. But had to choose the Go-Go's. An album cover you love. That's easy. This is my favorite album cover of all time. And this is Cream's Disraeli Gear. And this back cover of the Cream album, fantastic. In fact, I do have to spin this album again so I can play some Sunshine for Your Love. I mean, Sunshine of Your Love. An album that you listen to the most. So, even though this came out in 2019, I spun this a lot in 2020 because there's a song on here called 2021. And we are now in 2021, so here's to hoping 2021 actually turns out better than 2020. But I talked about this album in a previous video and how much I love this album. Harmony Hall, Bambina, Sunflower, but Sympathy. Sympathy is my absolute favorite track off this album. An album you had to get an OG copy of. So, it's always been a thing for me to own an OG copy of the Beatles, but I want to get an OG copy of my favorite Beatles record. And this is Abbey Road by the Beatles. It's a bit beat up, but when I saw it at the record store, I had to pick it up. It's really nice to have one OG copy of your favorite album. And this one's great. Here Comes the Sun, Come Together, Golden Slumbers, Carried Out Way at the end. An album they don't get. Now, this one kind of threw me for a loop. I was like, an album they don't get? Is it an album that the vinyl community doesn't get or understand? And I thought, you know what? Maybe instead I'll talk about an album that the vinyl community doesn't really talk a lot about, or an artist that the vinyl community doesn't talk a lot about. But you know what? That's what I decided to do. So this one is Beirut's The Flying Club Cup. They reissued this, I believe, in 2018. But Sunday Smile, Nantes, The Penalty, which is my favorite song, Forks and Knives, Le Fête. This is a great album if you really want to explore the whole world genre of music. This guy, Zach Condon, does it all in his music. He goes from world music to pop music to rock music. He just loves to cross different genres with his music. I've seen him 4 times in concert when he came out here to LA. I probably answered that question wrong, but I figured I'd show an album that doesn't really probably get talked a lot about in the VC. A punk album. Now, punk is not something that I really go out of my way to get at a record store, because it's just not something I collect a lot of. But one day I was at my local record store and I saw this and I thought to myself, it's time to actually pick this up for my collection. And this is Green Day's Dookie. Love Green Day. Been a big fan of Green Day for a while. Longview, Welcome to Paradise, Pulling Teeth, Basket Case, She, Sassafras Root, When I Come Around is one of my favorites. But yeah, this album to me, it's just a great album to put on the turntable at full blast. So those are my albums for 2021 vinyl tag. I hope you guys are doing well, staying safe, and I hope you have a wonderful 2021. Peace, love, and grooviness to you all. Love you all. Stay safe. Bye, guys.